And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast. Here's Jeff.
All right. Hello, everybody. And happy Saturday to you. It's time for the live cast. It's nice to see everybody. All right. And let's see. We have Merlin already here. So I hope you guys are ready for your weekly reading. And I've got a new toy for you guys today, as you can hear. And I'm going to have to kind of get adjusted to it. But I have music now, and I've got some other stuff going on. So hopefully, I can make this live stream even more fun for you guys. So, again, hello to everybody. Happy Saturday to everybody on this side of the planet. If you're on the other side of the planet, well then happy Sunday to you as well. So let's bring in Merlin. And he is almost here. I don't see him yet, though. Where is he? But you know what? Let's give Merlin a nice round of applause for his introduction. There you are, Merlin. Hello. Now, I was hearing you. I thought you were about to pop in, but I didn't see you there. All right. All right, well, while you're doing that, I recorded a podcast today with one of a very interesting man who's had 3 NDEs. And obviously, without having an NDE, I don't know everything about NDEs, but I felt like this guy filled in quite a bit of the blanks. I need a drink. My throat's a little weird. But anyways, I felt like he filled in some of the blanks really well today. And it was a really fascinating podcast. So I think that you guys are really going to like this one tomorrow night that I'm going to post. So I hope that, you will listen. And yes, you'll get an applause when you come in, just like that. Yeah, I have some other sound effects here, but I don't know if they're going to be appropriate or not, because they're like, air horns and different things. And that's something that hopefully I will do over time, get some more sound effects of things that I feel are appropriate for the show. So, right. I'm glad you brought that up, because I think I can do that with mine. I can pitch shift my voice, and I think I can do echo and a different thing. So I need to play along with that. Play with my machine a little bit more and get it up to speed. So yeah. That's not loaded up in the system yet, though. But yeah, that's another one. Someone Straw Piglet said we need some UFO sounds. And I thought that would be really cool, is like if somebody said that, whoever's live and said, I want to tell you about my UFO, I'm pretty sure I can find some music or something that just kind of gives you a creepy background noise or something, something sci-fi sounding. I guess I got to get something, maybe something for each type of guest. Wait, everybody is saying that they can't hear you. So hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I think there's a problem here that I need to adjust. And what I had to do was do this. So that's the problem. I think this will fix it. Say something for me.
Hello.
All right. Hopefully everybody can hear you now.
Can y'all hear me?
What it is I have this thing that you see that when I move the video behind it, It's
Can
like
everybody hear me?
I have a setup for my live stream versus a completely different setup for like my regular recording, and ever
Right.
since I started using this new device, I hadn't all fixed it, so I had to redo it. So yes, people are saying that they can hear you now, so you're here.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
so you weren't here
I,
last week. What do you
oh
have
no,
new
yeah,
for us?
I just want to. I want to tell people some things, and I want to tell a stupid thing that happened to me like just like 20 minutes ago, but it
Hmm.
woke me up. I was replacing a light bulb, but I stuck my finger where you screw it in all the way up, and I got a little shock. And I was like,
Okay.
"Woo!" And so I was like, "Okay, I mean, I don't think it's not enough watts in there, and that produces to be lethal because apparently not because I stuck my finger in there. But it was a little jolt,
Hmm.
and it felt good, I felt like okay, I felt. But other than that, I'm just here to break the matrix, and I'll
Mm,
do some tarot too. And I all right. So my mom's cause of death, she had fentanyl in her system. So
really?
yeah, so that's
Okay.
what contributed to her death,
Mm.
and all kinds of other things. And but the strange thing with her day that she died 90929 2022. You add all those digits up, you know what number you get? 26. Now the 26 is very like weird. Like my mom, me, and my half sister, we were all born at 206. Me and my mom were born at 206 p.m. My sister 206 a.m.
Mm.
And her if you add all those digits up, the day she died, you get 26. And I thought that was just very weird and bizarre. And that's more clarification that we are in some type of I guess, computer code reality, possibly. And I think everyone needs to check their own numbers. That way you can get an advantage and leg up of what you can do and what you need to learn to fulfill your destiny while you're here, what you need to learn. So if you figure that out using astrology, numerology, and you put the hard work in there and you study your numbers and get a pretty good clue where you need to go, what direction you came here for, what you really what your real purpose here for, you can help. That can help too. Help people figure it out.
So are you
What?
saying that you need to know the time of your birth?
Yes, everything is vibrating energy because people. I think people forget because it's become so cliche. Vibrations, frequency in the new age and spirit community, but it's true. We are all atoms vibrating. But we just vibrating a little bit lower than the higher frequency atoms are, and that's why everything's solidified because we're matching that frequency, right? But if we were to go into a higher frequency, right, and we were passed into this frequency, we would go right through it.
Mm.
But we're vibrating at a higher frequency, and we crash into the same higher frequency, it feels solidified to us because we're matching the energy and output. So it kind of like stops. That's why things are solid. Of course, so everything is vibrating. Thoughts, everything in the world we see is energy. We just don't perceive it as that, but it is. So yes, time of birth and numbers are important because it's energy as well too. Everything, our thoughts, everything is energy in this place. So I think it's very important to figure those things out.
Mm. I don't even know my time of birth. I mean, that's something that I've got to ask my mother about, or well, I don't even know. I don't know if it even says that on my birth certificate. I don't know if they did that many
But possibly,
decades ago.
well, I think yeah, because my mom was about your age, and she had her time of birth. Uh,
Hmm. Interesting.
so you should have access to it if you just go to get it printed out at a social security office near you. You know,
Right.
so do it that way.
All
But
right.
okay, enough
What
enough of my rambling.
what
Cards,
cards do you have today?
the angel deck.
The angel deck. Right.
Mhm.
So for those of you that are new here, what Merlin? Well, are you going to do a monthly one, or are you going to do the three piles? How are you doing that today?
I'm doing the three pile one, pick one through three because the Oracle deck, I just want to do that for like the overall month
Hmm.
of the the greatest energy is that we will be facing. So I would probably do that next time, and just go into the month of January. So,
All right.
what expect then?
All right. So for those of you that are new, he's going to create 3 piles, and you can choose pile 1, 2, or 3. And that will be your reading. And if you're not even here live, it's still applicable to you, right, Merlin?
Absolutely.
Right.
Time is just a human construct.
Right.
If
Right.
Okay, so what I'm doing now. Okay, got a clarification card. Okay,
Go.
that's clear. Okay. Okay, got another one.
Now, are you
And
going to do your confirmation card with this same deck?
yes, that's what these additional. I already drew 3 from the top. That's what I do. I start out just draw 3 from the top, and place them in 3 separate piles. Then I just shuffle for the clarification.
All right.
For them.
Now, for those of you that are in the chat right now and you want to come on live, all you have to do is go to Zoom, click join a meeting, and then in the description below, there is the room ID and then there's the password. And then you just go ahead and come in the room and get in line.
Okay. Make sure you all can see better. All right. So everyone pick. I'll give you like 10 seconds to pick 1, 2, or 3. So whichever pile you feel drawn to, what number just pops in your head, even that's what you should go with. All right. All right. So let's do it. If you pick pile 1, what is this? The card is Page of Air, which is like in traditional tarot, it's the Page of Swords, right? So with this card, you're leading with your reason, logical thinking, and you're slicing through the illusions that's been placed through you. So you're operating at a place from truth, and it's a new page, a new beginning. So you probably just recognize some aspect, and you found out what you need to do, and so you cut through the illusion, and now you see things a little bit clearer. What's the clarification? Life experience. Clarification for the Page of Air. Now this always gets me hung up. So I can't remember if this is the tower or what. Yeah, this is a tower in Angels. Like that's the only card that throws me off is tower. This one. So it says a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. So that's going with Page of Air for Group 1. Okay, guys. Group 2 is okay. The Hangman or the Awakening card in the reverse. So that means instead of being, strung upside down traditional tarot, and you have time to analyze. You're done with the analyzation, if that's a word, of whatever you needed to have time to reflect on. And so you're done with that, and now you've had time. You had time to contemplate, and now you know what to do. I'll tell you clarification for that. Oh, cool. 4 of Air. That makes a lot of sense. Now, remember what I just said about this. Now, the 4 of Air, 4 of Swords, is of about rest as well. So this is very strange energy. It's almost contradictory in a sense, but not really, because with a Hangman, you're there, right? Now the 4 of Air wants you just to relax, lay down, stop. So it's a little contradictory energy there. But this says time to rest or take a vacation, allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. But you've already been doing that, didn't you, pile 2? Because you had time to reflect, now you're done. So that makes sense in a way. I get where that's coming from. Pile 3, okay. The Emperor, number 4, Archangel Michael for pile 3.
Yeah.
It says organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. And the clarification card is the 8 of Air or 8 of Swords, right? So in traditional tarot, a woman's blindfolded and got ropes around her, and she doesn't think she can get out. If she only removed the blindfolder, she'll see all the swords surrounding her, and she can just get a sword to cut the ropes from her. But this says an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self confidence, afraid to take action. That's what the Emperor is about, right? So that's about organization. So you can actually implement something that will work out for you through planning and organization, right? And remove that blindfold. You have the abilities combined with organization and order to turn things around, fix if you're going through some type of problem. Maybe you just need more organization type of thing. So this is pretty good energy, but number pile two is contradictory at least a little bit for me, but the cards do tie in uh, to each other. But I for it to make sense really for me, the four of air would have to be in a reverse position because to go with awakening, because then you're coming out of your sleep. But like I said, it makes sense though.
It's not too often that cards are contradictory to each other, right?
No, it can happen. It can happen. It can most definitely happen because I think a lot of things in life can be contradictory. So humans are contradictory. We're contradictory, right? As a species. So it makes sense.
All right, Merlin, are you still giving out free readings on Discord?
Yes, if anybody goes into your Discord server and you just like at sign me, like tag me, just type in like at Merlin, and I should be tagged, and you can direct message me for a reading. But I like I said, I haven't really been doing them unless someone really needs to find out answers, and if they direct message me, I will not turn somebody down, and I will do it. But just like I said, just tag me.
Are you still active on your YouTube channel and Facebook?
I think I posted a brief video, was it a week ago, about the four horsemen of the apocalypse and what I think they really actually represent. Because of course, with magic, you got the pentagram, the four different points or the four different elements: earth, water, fire, and who am I missing? Earth, water, fire, and air. Right, the four different elements. And I think in the four horsemen apocalypse are also signaling different aspects of that. And I go into a little detail on what I think it actually means, what they actually represent, and that was like a week ago. So I will work on the YouTube again, but I am active on Facebook. Oh yeah, there's this one kid. He's the bravest, most polite kid. Um, he's had two heart transplants, and he needs people's support. So if you subscribe to Kraken the Box, Kraken the Box, you should be able to sub and you can find out what's going on. Just watch his videos, and I think he's a very tough and kind soul, and he needs positive vibes. Okay, and that family needs positive vibes, and that's really all I want to say.
All right. Well, Merlin, we can still find you at Merlin in the Fey King's Crown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got it. So if you want to check his Facebook out or his YouTube channel, that's where to find him. I think on Discord, you can just type Merlin.
Yeah.
And if you want to, there is a, I guess you call it a channel. Within my server, there's one called Services, and Merlin's there, and sometimes other people are there offering free services. So
right.
If you want to do that, then check it out. Otherwise, Merlin, thank you for coming this evening. Nice seeing you again, and I hope to see you back again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Yes.
All right, thank you. Take care.
All right.
And a big thank you to Merlin. All right, so next up is Mesa, also known as Ben. So let's bring him in the room. I lost my headphone there. And while we're waiting for Ben, Mika's making an appearance here today. She looks sleepy, doesn't she? She looks like she's just woken up out of bed. Did you just wake up, Mika? But she'll be down here hanging out with me. All right, Ben, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
All right.
the music is a little bit loud.
All right, I'll turn it off once you come on in. Welcome, Ben. How are you today?
Oh, it's perfectly fine today. It's a little bit cold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it is a little bit unstable, but I think we'll survive.
You said the weather's a little bit unstable?
No, the internet is a little bit
Oh, the
unstable.
internet is unstable. Okay, I couldn't hear you that well. So what do you got new for us this week, Ben?
Well, it's actually what I wanted to talk about last week, but I got distracted.
I
so
just keep
let's do
distracting
that
you,
now.
I guess.
Yeah, it's fun topics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to talk about was, so I have my soulmate, and she talks to me through my mouth, so I'm channeling her. But she also sends me dreams, and I wanted to talk about the dreams and about one creepy thing I wanted to address more for myself than for others. So
All right, I'm going to
I'll
distract you
keep
again
it
real quick. I want to
censored.
ask, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to ask you this. Do you think that you can come sometime and channel her while we're live?
No, she likes to keep herself hidden.
All right. All right.
So
Well,
she's not a public figure.
okay. All right. Well, let's bring you back.
It's it's really annoying.
What were you going to tell us about
Yeah.
your dreams? I know I keep distracting you, so I'll bring you back.
Well, um, basically, she sends me dreams, and other people too from the other side. They are very cryptic, but most of the times I'll know because they will appear in my dream. So as an extra or someone who I briefly talk with, and then when I wake up and I ask and I
Uh-oh. We were going pretty good, but then you were right. After all, you're having a little bit of... You're getting a little bit of...
about
Oh,
my
you're
dreams
back now.
So
Penny made these for me. And she's not here to see her work. But your screen is frozen today, Ben. You're having a bad day on internet. Can you hear me? I think... Oh, he's gone. Well, sometimes that happens. Let's bring in Minnie Rapunzel and see what she's up to.
can you still hear me? My internet my internet blew out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize you were back. Good for you.
Well, okay. Not a lot of time left. Well, so I've been sort of dream walking and lucid dreaming, and there's a whole mix of things I'm not used to, and I'm still trying to grasp what it all means. But yeah, that's one side of the story. And now the creepy thing. Since I was like 6, there's been something on my bed, like an entity,
Okay.
and I can always feel them putting pressure on my bed. Well, the creepy thing is now it's been it left for the several years, then it came back, then it started being really creepy with me. That's censored, sorry, out because it's YouTube. Uh, um, and it's been more in my dreams, and it's some of those dreams are like I feel like I'm awake, but then I wake up again. And one of the things it does is I'm lying on bed and it literally drops itself on top of me so I lose my breath.
Wow.
And then I wake up and I feel the bed moving, but then I wake up. So it's a dream. So it feels real, but it's a dream. So it's a fake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Now,
that's the only thing I have to talk about.
do you think
Sorry.
it's more of a lucid dream? Do you know you're dreaming when this is happening?
No, I literally think I'm awake when
Oh,
it happens.
interesting. What would be more spooky is if you were awake and then you felt the entity.
Oh no, that's what's happening, but now it's invading my dreams. That's
Oh,
what I'm
wow.
talking about.
So do you think
So
now you think it's this female friend that's doing this or some other entity?
some other entity.
Who do you think this entity is?
I think it's either a muse who's totally new and unknown, or it's an ancestral spirit.
Hmm. Do you think that
Uh,
they are trying to get your attention or it's just causing trouble?
I think it's just causing trouble, personally.
And I wouldn't think it would be ancestral.
Yeah, it looks ancestral because I'm Italian, and the only time I saw it was in 2007 or something, and it was a bad dream. And it was a woman dressed in Roman attire with really, um, I don't know how to call it, Agrippa hair with a hairnet. So it's really a Roman entity. So I'm just calling it ancestral or muse, one of the two.
Hmm.
It's also well censored in nature, so it might also be a succubus, but I'm hoping it's not because it keeps coming back for me, but it doesn't do anything. It just wakes me up every time. So
Hmm.
I hope it's not. Let's hope it's not.
Let's hope it's not. Yes. Because we
Yeah.
need you to keep coming to the podcast.
Yeah. I am willing to do one video, but it's probably gonna be next year. I'm really busy. I'm lucky to show up here at the moment. It's a ghastly year for me. So yeah, that's about it.
All right.
You can hang up now.
Well, Ben, thanks
Have a
for
nice.
coming. Thank you for coming
Yeah.
and sharing with us today. A big applause for you. And have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend too. Bye.
Bye bye. All right, so let's bring Minnie Rapunzel in this time. Last time I thought Ben got completely kicked out, but he hadn't. He just kind of popped in and popped out. All right, Minnie Rapunzel, welcome. Nice to have you. Thanks for joining us. How are you this? Yes. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Great, great. It's been a while since I've seen you. Well, like a month or two, right?
Yeah, I missed last week because I was attending a Christmas party for one of the places I work.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt it though too because I really love being here on Saturday nights.
Oh, thank you.
And I forgot to put my shirt on because I love having my JeffMara shirt. It's awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for buying one.
Of course, of course. I love wearing it, and people always comment on how I wear the weirdest clothes and stuff. And so that shirt definitely gets attention too. I think.
Maybe next year I'll figure out somebody to make us a Christmas sweater.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool, right?
Right.
You know, like
I'll find one for
so
sure.
then you can have a crazy Christmas sweater.
Right. Well, I do wear some well, just because I'm into heavy metal and
Hmm.
stuff, so I wear all kinds of shirts and
Hmm. Who's your
um,
favorite metal band?
Clutch.
Clutch. That must be a new heavy metal band because I've never
Now
heard of them.
they've been around about 20 years, but not many people have heard of them. They're not as heavy as they used to be. They're actually one of my more mellow bands. Their older stuff is kind of heavy, but
Hmm.
this is a good storytelling band. They actually have some really interesting lyrics as far as like the singers into numerology and stuff like that. So, and they sing just about um elementals and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
That's interesting
Um,
that you mentioned that because one of my favorite metal bands, I like all kinds of music, is this band called Fate's Warning. And
I love
I had been thinking about having this singer on because their third album is called Guardian, and I mean his lyrics are about what we talk about: guardian angels. Sounds like guardians fighting demons and astral travel. And it's amazing that he wrote all these songs back in like 1982. And I was like, it would be so awesome to have him on. I don't think there are very many fans of heavy. This is even like progressive heavy metal, so it's like a subsection. And I don't know if people would be really into the music, but if you read the lyrics, I think that you would really like it.
right. And Guardian is my favorite album from Fate's
Oh,
Warning.
okay. See,
It's
it's
a
great.
real
It's nice to meet
it's a
another fan. Yeah, I didn't think there were that many fans out there, but there are more than
well,
I
I've heard
realized.
of them. I've listened to some pretty obscure bands, uh,
Hmm.
but my scene, I love the metal scene and uh, just the way I am. I
Yeah.
love going to the festivals.
Cool.
Um, so that's what I do. But I'm on here this evening
Hmm.
to plug away for the cause of the time stamping for your show.
Oh, okay. That's right. You've done that for us. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, I've backed off a little bit this last week. I've had some issues like with health that I'm like trying to deal with and get like just testing and stuff at the doctors. So hopefully things will go well. I'm asking for prayers, everybody.
Mm.
Um, so just waiting to hear back and stuff. And so and I was having some issues with the actual timestamp sheet. I don't know if it was on my part or not, because I'm not real tech savvy.
Hmm.
Um, but I did finish one earlier the week, and then I did have another one I finished. But I'm having a hard time with entering some times in the one sheet. But Pete had emailed me back, and we're resolving it because if you do this for the timestamp, Pete and Ken is his handle name. They're really great at getting back with you and helping to resolve the issues if you have any or any questions you have about a certain timestamp that you're doing, a certain show that you're doing. So that's what I'm on here because we need some more volunteers that are willing to go back and watch, so whichever show you pick the show. There's a list of ones that's already been done. And if you just go on Discord and there's an actual you have a room in there for the timestamp part. And just you can see what's already been done. But chances are the one you pick isn't, or ones you pick isn't already done. And you just pick a show that you want to timestamp and you start from the beginning and you have a list of things, like maybe 50 things that as soon as you identify what they're saying, like if they're talking about how they died, if they're talking about floating out of their body, if they're talking about music, there's different numbers that go to these, instances. And so you just stop and you look at the time, you write the time down, where they're mentioning this, and then you write the number that coincides. Like if they're speaking of floating out of their body, you just write down that number that coincides with that, and then just keep moving on. So I enjoy doing it because I just love the shows, and I love picking it apart. And since we're in the beginning stages of it too, it's neat because there's certain things like I would like to have added, which I'll mention to Pete, but I'd like to have added them mentioning pink, the color pink, like a pink cloud, a pink mist, because in like 4 of the shows that I went back and listened to, they're mentioning like a pink mist, or so that's something that I'd like to have added to that. But it's interesting because we can have our input and say, you know, hey, I think this is important because I've heard it mentioned a few times.
Mhm.
And some people, I believe that we're all into different aspects of the NDE. Like some people, if they hear that they've met their family on the other side, that's really intriguing to them. If they've, suffering the loss of a loved one, or even if not, um, some people, like are really into like, wow, they heard music while they were up there, or the angel thing. So it's interesting. And two, it's interesting, like personally, there were 3 people right off the bat I knew I wanted to do their timestamp, because their stories really resonated with me and stuck with me.
You know,
So it's neat too.
let me stop you there for a moment. I think that, and I just thought of that as you were talking, that once this is all done, we should probably publish something that says, if you want to, like, um, subjects within NDEs. For example, somebody wrote to me, it was either today or yesterday, and said, do you have any NDEs where the person saw their pets? So that way, we have it published where NDEs with pets, and they can say 632, 541, 222. So we, like that, or NDEs with Jesus. Well, it's da 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 da, or NDEs with whatever. I think that would be somewhere great that I don't know where I could publish that. Maybe eventually I'll have to create a website so that all this data will be there. But then people who are really into it, they can, they can kind of scan through there and say, okay, I want to see NDEs about certain subjects. And I just wanted to mention real quick, for those of you who are new here, what we're completely talking about is that eventually I'm going to create videos of guest after guest saying the same thing. And what I mean by that is, like, we may have 20 or 30 podcasts where the guests will say, yeah, I saw an angel and it was 10 feet tall. And then it'll flip to the next person. Yeah, I saw 2 angels and they were 10 feet tall. So it'll be fascinating to hear guest after guest say the same thing over and over again, whether it's they saw angels or Jesus or whatever. So we're just trying to, and these great people have been so kind in helping me to go back through these NDEs and kind of help categorize all these different subjects so we can I'll have this database to be able to create these videos from.
And to me, that's what makes it so important, that we do this, because
Mhm.
I love helping you and Mara. You guys are already busy and
Thank you.
and do such awesome work for us and the whole world, that it's the least I can do, to help out, because I do believe that there's people out there, if not now, eventually they're going to want to, just like you said, I want to hear the NDs that mention seeing angels, seeing Jesus. And that's why to me this is so important, because it'll be at some point just right there, that it won't be a seek and find. It'll be right there.
Mhm.
Here's 20 episodes that mention this. And because I know, like you say with the other channel that you have about the clips, the NDE clips, that people just don't have time or whatever, they just want to hear the NDEs. So this is kind of a little sidebar of that, I would
Mhm.
imagine.
Yeah.
I think it's important to do what I can to help out, because I, like I said, if there's not a demand for it now, there definitely will be, um for the short. Like, I just want to hear what people have heard, seen, ones that seen their pets, and that. So we need all the help we can get.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Pete is the main dude in
Mm-hmm.
heading that up, and he gets right back to you. And Ken is helping with, stuff too. So um there's always help if you get stuck or have questions, and it's not hard. It's very enjoyable. So that's why I'm on here, to plug away, to get some more volunteers, because I know we have had more, and even if you just do one is helpful.
Yes,
um
it is, because there's about 400 NDEs to go through. And even if, we have, I think we've finally crossed 60,000 subscribers. So if we can just get, and you guys have done a lot, maybe, I don't know how many, but, we could just get 400 people to do one video, we would have it done.
Exactly, exactly. So that's really all I came on to do, was try to drum up some business here for the, and really to just say how easy it is and enjoyable it is. Um, it is enjoyable. So at least to me anyhow, because
Mm-hmm.
I love the audience. And thank you. Thanks, Mara. Thanks everybody. Your work is incredible. The giving back to this universe that you guys are doing is just fabulous, and I can't thank you enough. Words just won't do it. So thank you. But
Thank you. And I wish you the best with whatever your results you're waiting on. I hope that you will be 100% 100% healthy. We will pray for you. And if you guys can, send a prayer out here to Minnie Rapunzel.
thank you.
And thanks again. And have a
Sure.
great weekend.
Okay,
Enjoy
you
it.
too. And Merry Christmas. Oh, and when are you on Friday night?
Okay,
This
yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that up. I was going to say that anyways, but while you're here, so next weekend I will do the live stream on Friday because Saturday is Christmas Eve.
Okay,
That
great.
way
All
we'll
right.
do it Friday night. And
Great.
I'm trying to decide if I'm going to even, I still I don't want to miss a day. I'm thinking I still, and you guys, well, I don't, from what people tell me, the majority of people love to watch these in bed before they go to sleep. So I might still post something on Christmas night. So even after, you're done celebrating, if you still want to watch something before you go to bed, it'll be there for you if you guys are interested. So,
Well, I can only speak for me, and I'm always
all
interested.
right.
So,
So good. It's
but
good to know.
I do want you and Mara to have time for yourselves,
Thank you.
and not always work so much. So, thank you so much.
All right.
And
Thank you. Have a great evening.
okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. And she's gone. All right. So there are 205 of you here. And that means that there should be at least 2.5 of you waiting to get in the room. And it's been busy since the beginning, so I will kind of go over the I don't know what you'd call this stuff, but if you are new here and if you look in the description below the video, you will see the link to Discord. And if you don't even know what Discord is kind of like Facebook, but not really. I mean, there's things that you can do there that are kind of similar, but it's kind of like a place where you can video chat, you can audio chat, you can post whatever. They're kind of like chat rooms. You can post jokes or whatever. And it's generally people from the podcast, and there's almost about 500 people there. So if you are looking for like-minded people to hang out with and chit chat or share stuff, then you might want to check it out. It's totally free. All you have to do is go to discord.com and create your free profile. And then once you've done that, you get that link in the description below. And what that does is that that'll get you into my server. They call servers, and within my server, you've got like different kind of like chat rooms, I guess, what you would say. But that's there for you. So I hope you guys will take advantage if you're interested. Also, in the description below is the JeffMara podcast Facebook page. So if you, sometimes I post different news articles there. I post the. I also post the. What do I post there? I post the videos there, of course, among other things. And we've got somebody here, Leonard Straw. Is it Robel or Robo? We'll find out. Description below is JeffMara.
Hello?
And Leonard, if you're there, be sure
Yeah,
to mute the YouTube.
I have. Oh, there I am.
Hi, Leonard. I didn't realize I'd ever seen your name come up like that, Leonard Straw Robo.
Oh, I added the straw.
That's why I didn't recognize it. How are you this evening?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
Great. What's new?
Not much. I figured you got a gap, so tell a story or two.
All right. What kind of story are you going to tell us?
Hold on, give me 10 minutes.
All right.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, I was thinking about something that happened with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Before he passed away, he was really sick, and I thought it was a little bit mysterious. He had fibers in his lungs, and it was causing him a lot of pain, and it was hard for him to talk or to breathe.
Kind of like asbestos fibers or something else?
They were like growing.
Interesting.
And yeah. So I thought sometimes I've been able to ask to see things, and I get to see them. And so I thought, well, this is kind of important. Maybe I'll ask why is this happening to my dad? Maybe I can get some insight to help him or give a spiritual reason or something. And I asked this when I was lying down to go to bed. And right away I saw this, I saw it. I saw it like energy with my eyes closed. And it was very complex. And so I asked, can it be simplified for my brain so that I can understand this in a simple way? And it formed into shapes that looked like layers of stone or layers of shell. And I could see my dad, his main personality, down at the bottom, and it was black. And then I could see several layers between, thin layers between, and then at the top it was white. And I could see those layers in between were things my dad had done in life, like little things you do in life that are not quite right, like not really being honest or something, being in denial, doing things you probably shouldn't be doing. And at the top, I saw that was the higher part of my dad. So it was like he had two parts. And the higher part was like this angel, and it was reaching down and grabbing the layers and pulling them up, kind of like you might pull up tile or something. And I could see why it was so extremely painful for him. And the reason that it was doing that was, it was like, okay, it reached a point where over the years, too much had accumulated, and it was time to get my dad back in touch with himself, even if it had to kill him. And this was part of my dad. Like I could see, for instance, that this is where my dad's sense of humor came from. He had the typical dad sense of humor with the bad puns all the time and that kind of thing. Uh, so that was really, really interesting to me. And it was very powerful. It wasn't the kind of thing where I had to ask, is this my imagination? It was really clear. And I wrote him and I told him what I saw, and he received it really well and he appreciated it. And he did, he did die soon after. So I thought I might share that. Part of the reason I thought it might be good to share is I realized from that why we don't live very long, because it's like a safety, so that we don't make too many mistakes before we kind of get a reset.
Never thought of it that way. It's interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way either until I saw that.
How did you change after that, experiencing that?
How did I change? I don't know, just a little more knowledge, I guess. A little more thinking that when I need to ask for something, maybe I can ask, maybe find it in my intuition, that kind of thing.
Now, have you seen energy before this?
Yeah, like when I told you about the when I visited heaven, how I saw things was basically as energy, and then I would translate them. My brain would kind of translate it a little bit. Well, one thing I didn't tell you when that happened is I looked around and I saw there were other individuals, like God was one, but also separated into individuals like myself. And when I looked around, I saw like other energies that I recognized as God being individual, and then they kind of translated like seeing nebula, like star systems, really beautiful star systems. And other times too, I've seen that, yeah, energies, and they can look like they're swirling, or maybe just an awareness that there's something there.
Do you see auras?
No. And when I've seen these, it's almost always when my eyes are closed. I don't. Well, one time when my eyes were open, I saw something, and I told you about that time I saw the angels and the demons, that like vision. Although that was just very, well, there is a little bit of energy there, but mostly that was just a vivid representation. Yeah. And there's something else I was thinking about. Another story that goes with my dad. I feel a little like I'm throwing my dad under the bus here, but I think he'd be okay with this because he was a very spiritual person. At one point when I was really frustrated with my dad, because we have some different points, even though we're both spiritually minded, we have some really different points of view. And I felt basically ashamed that like he's behaving this way and I'm related to him, and what does that mean about me? And so I asked God, how do I look at my dad? And then I asked God, how would God have me look at my dad? And so how I looked at my dad is I saw him in my imagination, like he's over there and I come from him. And like I say, like felt kind of ashamed and frustrated with him. And then when I asked how would God have me, then it was like this ray of light went to my dad, and then from my dad to me. And it was that's not my dad, that my dad is God. God is the one who creates us, and our parent is just the channel. And that really helped me. That helped me a lot, actually, because probably like a lot of people, I didn't have a happy childhood with my parents, and that helped me resolve some of those feelings of being responsible for how my parents were, or that kind of thing.
I was thinking that I think there's an old saying that you can't choose your family, but then if you look at it from what we talk about every day, it's the exact opposite. You chose this family before birth, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's something I think about a lot, both for what I got from that, what I got from my parents that I like, and the challenges that I didn't like, but presumably they were challenges I needed or I wanted.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, do you feel like you carried a lot of resentment for your dad?
Yeah, yeah,
Do you feel like you've released that?
yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of it, definitely most of it,
Hmm.
definitely, yeah.
Hmm.
And it's from having spiritual experiences and spiritual points of view, and having revelations about myself. I'll tell you one I had just recently, uh, was that to an old girlfriend, I sent her an apology and I said, I realized some of these things I did, I I feel horrible about them. Like I feel like I was a monster, and and I can't forgive myself, and I feel so angry at myself. The thing that so I sent her this thing, and I thought, I feel so angry at myself that I'm probably going to go to hell, because if you feel that badly about yourself, it seems likely that's what will happen to you. And I thought, you know what? I deserve to go to hell,
Hmm.
because it, I know what I did, uh, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with going to hell. Knowing that I deserve it makes it feel okay, which might sound kind of funny, but maybe it makes sense. And then I thought about it some more, and I thought, I really don't want to go to hell.
Hmm.
And I thought, is there a way I can rectify this? And I thought about it, and I thought, you know, that was not really me. That was the ignorance. That was me in ignorance. And I'm not ignorant about that anymore. And then I was able to let go of it, and
Great.
some disappointment with myself, but uh, I was able to let go of that. And then, of course, able to forgive other people a little more, realizing, oh, they're ignorant too. They don't understand that what they're doing is really wrong. And if they understood, might look back and kick themselves and go, oh, how could I think that was okay?
Hmm. I'm going to have to stay a little bit more aware the next time I have somebody who has a hellish NDE. Ask them if they felt like they deserved to go to hell. I think that we kind of touched on that before, but
Mhm.
good thing you didn't have might have had a scary one at the time.
Well, when I was a kid, I had a very scary, it wasn't an NDE, but I mentioned I had an out of body experience. And then I saw something trying to mess with me. And so I went back into my body to deal with it. And it was very scary. And actually, I experienced this demon who tried to swallow me.
Hmm.
And I was trying to wake up, and I couldn't wake up. And it seemed like I was doomed. And then just when it seemed like it was all over, I managed to yell, and it woke me up, and it all stopped. Uh, and I think, and my immediately feeling about it was, this demon is one that makes me depressed. It makes me want to die, and it's trying to take me. That was my sense of it. And what I saw was, if it had swallowed me, I would have just been in this like holding space, all alone, not being tortured, but all alone for a really, really, really long time, like I'd be forgotten.
Hmm.
And it was really scary.
Hmm. And
Uh,
that you got out of it.
yeah, and who knows what would have really happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a scary experience
Yeah.
all the same.
Leonard, I got to run to the next person, but
Good.
thank you for popping in and hanging out with me. I
Yeah,
appreciate you and have a great rest of your weekend.
thank you. You too.
Cheers.
Good night.
Good night. All right, that was Leonard. We got Jay Clemenstein or Clemenstein. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. We'll figure that out soon here. And he's almost here. Ask him to start video.
Thank you for popping in
Oh,
and hanging out with me.
all right.
I
Can you
appreciate it.
pause the YouTube video or the sound? You got it? I think you got
Yep,
it. You've been on
I think I
before,
got it.
right?
Yeah, I've been on here a couple
All
times.
right. Yeah, I recognized you. How have you been?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I just wanted to come on and say happy holidays to everybody on here. Well, whatever holiday it is that you're celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the one that met an alien calling itself God back in 2014 when I was camping.
Camping at Mount Shasta, right?
Mount Rainier
Mount
in Washington.
Rainier. Okay, that was that. Yeah. And that's fascinating. You know, I've had a lot of video, well, not a lot, but I've had a couple videos on Mount Shasta recently, and Mount Rainier's not too far away.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of UFO traffic around that mountain
I'm pretty sure there is. I
normally?
mean, the term flying saucer comes from a sighting that was right near Mount Rainier back in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So like that the history on that, we kind of coined the UFO and flying saucer from these initial sightings, right after World War II, or just before World War II was over. It's kind of funny to me. These aliens, I think, have been here since our very beginnings. I think in ancient art, ancient literature, they all talk about these entities, these advanced entities that taught mankind how to civilize.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I really do believe that these aliens, some of these aliens, not all of them. I don't know who's all coming here, how many different species we got, coming in and out of our planet, but
Mm-hmm.
at least one of the beings that comes here, I think, is the creator species for this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tend to believe that everything starts off with a thought. Even mankind, we're not just a roll of the dice. There's a reason why we are the apex animal on this planet. And that's because we were created in God's image. That's what the Bible says. That's what all the ancient texts say. We were
Mm-hmm.
created, well, from one of these beings creating us, using some of its own essence. So its own DNA, if you want to look at it like that.
Right. I've been reading lately about how humans aren't really modified perfectly to be on this planet, which makes sense that we were modified or we're from somewhere else. One of it is that we are subject to skin cancer because our skin is sensitive and we get sunburns to the sun here. And another one is that we really don't hold up to gravity as well as we think we do. A lot of people have back issues and back pain, and probably the majority. I mean, I think that, apes are on 2 feet, but they're kind of also on their arms a lot as well. It makes sense to me that something has been changed along the way. There is somebody that I want to get on. I can't say it's a friend of a friend, but I have a friend that he has a friend that she got one of those, I don't know, 23andMe DNA test or whatever. And after her test, they contacted her and said she is the most, out of everybody they've ever looked at, she has the most amount of Neanderthal DNA than anybody they've ever tested. And my friend was telling me that she never gets sick, and she almost kind of has psychic abilities. So I would just kind of wonder that maybe even the Neanderthal humanoid was better than us, and maybe they kind of took away some of our abilities, switching us from Neanderthal to what we are now.
Well, they were bigger than us. They were much, you would have to think that the bigger animal would have survived over the smaller animal, but somehow our small stature and our minds, our brains were probably bigger than Neanderthals.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a reason why we evolved the way we did.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody's ever thought about that before. You know what I mean? Like the history of Neanderthals and what abilities they've had. I mean, maybe I just haven't actually searched it out to see if anybody's written about it. Great to study if somebody hasn't.
Yeah.
So, do you know, when I had a guest on recently, we were talking about the hollow earth theory, and he thinks that there's possibly an alien base around Mount Shasta. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think there's possible one near Mount Vernon?
Well, that's some stuff that it's not really anything written about it. Where are we coming up with it? Where is it because of the increased sightings in the area? And I'd like to believe that the aliens are got some kind of bases underneath the ground here. It makes sense, because we have very limited technology for us to dig. So if they were to go underground, we would never be able to get to them. And so like it is one of the things that it could be happening. Absolutely. Their craft can go underneath water, they can go above water into space, and basically any medium they can go through. I don't know if they can go through Earth in those craft. That'd be kind of I don't know, kind of like science fiction wise, kind of like crazy if they could, but who knows? Who knows what kind of technology they got? We're so primitive. Your great great grandfather was riding a horse. He didn't even have a car.
Yeah.
It's like we've come a long ways in such a short period of time.
Right, right. There's a guy that I want to get on. Tried to get him on. Maybe I'll eventually get him here. And he's pretty popular guy. And I've always been under the assumption of what people say, that the government is about 20 or 30 years ahead of us in technology, but he claims that they're about 300.
Possible.
It would be amazing what they have.
See, when I was in I did 15 years in the U.S. Army. So I did almost a full career. And when I was in the Army, I was in this special unit that was testing advanced weapon systems, for like our future combat systems is what they called it. And I was a part of that unit for a couple of years, and I seen like what they were going to change the military into. And it's not that far advanced from where we're at right now. It's just in some upgraded communication software, a couple things that add to the range and so forth, the maneuverability. But in the big scheme of things, the stuff that I saw, and I only had a secret clearance, so I wasn't seeing the top secret stuff. But the stuff that I saw, it looked like it was maybe 10, 20 years ahead of us, like it's typically thought.
One last thing here, and I'm trying to remember, when you had ET contact, was it in a conscious state or in a dream state or unconscious state?
When I actually met the alien, I
Yes.
was sleeping.
Okay.
So it happened in the middle. It felt like a vivid dream.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I woke up from it, and the dream only lasted for about 4 hours. And then I woke up and I saw the UFO as soon as I woke up.
Oh, so you saw it then. I'd
Yeah.
forgotten what we talked about, but okay, that's amazing then. You feel like it was different than a regular dream, like you experienced reality?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was chronological. None of my dreams are ever chronological. This one was a series of me talking to this alien, asking it questions, and then it showed me future events. It showed me this great war that's going to happen on this planet at some time. I don't know when, but showed me this future war where the whole world is at war. And so, like, I came out of that thinking that the whole world was ending. And then the being showed me a quick vision of these craft coming off the earth just before the war starts.
They were
And
getting
so
out
like
of here.
so they're going to save some people from whatever's coming.
Hmm. Do you think about that a lot, that war, and do you actually prepare for it?
Not really prepare. I don't know how one would prepare for something like that. I basically I write about it. I try to warn as many people as I can. I've written 2 books at this point, all about God the alien and my interaction with him. Some of the stuff that I've taken away from the meetings, because like these beings they're very, very advanced in my opinion. a set of communication with them is like something that can feed you for years on end. It doesn't stop giving you information. One interaction is that powerful. Like they'll have, like, you know how humans, we meet and we interact and it comes together and that's it. You know, that we break apart and we go different ways and that's it. That's all the interaction is. Well, with these beings, whenever they give you a you know, like a vision or whatever like that, it'll have multiple meanings in it, and it'll take years for the individual to come to terms or find out new information to make the puzzle pieces come together. And so, like, there's parts of my dream that I'm still learning about with God the alien. Like, I don't know all the particulars, but I've learned some amazing things. They showed me things that I shouldn't have known. You know,
Like what?
like basically like the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem,
Okay.
the mosque that is there. I did not know that it had a basement, but that's what they showed me in the vision, and I found out that it had a basement later on.
Right. I think in the basement is where Muhammad ascended to the 7 levels of heaven.
Yeah, they showed me that spot. That's a very significant spot to the Abrahamic religions. I think that's the spot where Abraham made the covenant with God.
Hmm.
So it's a very, very holy site. And the Muslims have control over it right now, but the Jews own Israel, so they can always build on it or do whatever. The third temple still needs to get built. I know that needs to happen.
Oh, I don't know much about that, but well, all right. Well, what is your book called?
I have a book called The Omega. It's under the same name that I use on here, Jay Clemenstein.
All right, that's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
All right, so if you guys want to check out his book, it's on Amazon under the author Jay Clemenstein, and there you have it. Take a look and see what you think. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, and have a great rest of your weekend.
All right, you too.
Cheers. It's gone. And we got Mr. Kings here today, and I want to say real quick a big thank you to Antoinetta for that super thanks. Thank you very much for that. We really appreciate it. And let's see, where is Mr. Kings here?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. And now I see you. Hi, Leslie.
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
No.
Yes. I hear you. Yeah.
I cannot hear you.
You can't hear me? I hear you. Test. Maybe I'll put on some music for you.
Moment.
Can you hear my jazz music?
Here I have this one.
So for those of you that are here tonight,
yeah, I can hear you.
You hear my music in the background? I've got background music.
Oops, go on.
So are you at your piano?
Yeah, oh, okay.
You're going to play another piece. For those of you that are new, Leslie basically channels playing his synthesizer in real time. He's done it the last 2 weekends, and he's back to give us another performance.
Yes.
Where is it? Let me turn that on and mute this, and then turn on the video. That way that we have 2 sounds that'll feedback. There we go. Cool. I see myself. You got 2 computers too.
Wow. Okay, you can see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to just remember something.
Mm-hmm.
Last week you shared for you like surprises. You just mentioned.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Last week you mentioned for you like surprises.
I like surprises.
Yeah, this is what I heard.
Oh, okay, yes.
And coming the Christmas time, and I like to give you a gift.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, but how? This is the question. I like to invite the audience for help. Wow.
Say that again.
I like to invite the audience to help
You
me.
would like to
for-
invite the audience to help. Okay.
Okay, how? You know, the major things in this Christmas time is about light.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe your podcast, it is like a lighthouse, light tower in this earth. This is what I believe. And Christmas times, we also focusing, a lot of lighting, always light, 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 light. Now, I like to ask somebody in your network who can find some Bible verse what is include the light. A godly way about the light. Creative light, or you are the light, have a lot of Bible verses. And typing, in a chat, which Bible verse think, and I will compose for you a song.
Thank you.
According to the Bible verse, what's the advice?
Cool.
If I receive 1 or 3, I promise probably I compose only 1.
Okay.
But you always ask me for, is a composition, is a memorial? No, let's be a composition, not just channeling.
Mm-hmm.
So the gift for Jeff and Mara for Christmas.
That would be
So
awesome.
this is in my heart.
Thank you.
Okay, let's play something, right?
Right. All right. So he is going to just in real time channel something and play something for us. This is going to be something that you've never played before, right?
Exact. And honestly, when I sit here, I have no clue for my heart is so interesting for this war music or this peace music or what. But I have really no clue for what will come for its very interesting spiritual atmosphere. But okay, I'm not making big elephant. I just start playing us. Let us see in the next 5 minutes what will be. Yeah. Okay, so can we hear?
Yes.
Can. Okay.
Bravo, bravo. That was fantastic, Leslie.
Thanks for really to God for much wonderful now. You know,
Yeah.
I have a lot of secret how I learned, learning. I just a little bit joyfully, I did slight things before, if you know, or there was Beatles, or jazz music. I did many things before,
Right.
but my life is changed, and I learned how to channel something for above spiritual music, not soul, not what we compose. It's no problem. It's very good, but something different, and have much, much, much more, and can learn also.
Leslie, thank you so much for coming. I'm really glad that you got this finally figured out so you can do this for us. And you know, if people want to listen to more of your music, you have a YouTube channel, right? It's called Leslie Kings.
I be honestly, only your channel I play this music, for I just began at your podcast. Before, I do not play this music. I played piano music. Everything is different. Healing music for, you know, COVID, sickness and nations and war. But now is different, and it begin through your podcast.
Oh, that's awesome. My wife wanted to let you know that while you were playing, she sits next to me, and I saw her with her eyes closed. She said she was meditating to your music.
Oh, the biggest, greatest things in my life, not about he's very gifted, he's very good musician. Meditate and receiving from God the message, something revelation, something direction, the meet with God. This is the most wonderful, the meaningful for channeling something from above to hear this wonderful creation of Him.
Well, I mean, I am so happy and thankful that you're able to channel it for us.
Thank you, sir. See you Friday.
See you Friday. Have a great week.
God bless you.
God bless you. Righty. This, and we have to do this. And I think hopefully one of these days I will be able to figure out something. I don't like how... Oh yeah, I got to do that. I don't like how I have to click two different things to have somebody leave the podcast. I wish I could hit one button and they were gone. And I need to go back and thank, where is it? Mrs. Gardner. Thank you for that super thanks. We really appreciate it. And it says thanks for the light. So thank you again, and we appreciate it. I knew I shouldn't have probably done that. Anyways, we're back. See, if I click on my thing on the side over here, then this window disappears behind it. But if I roll it, it doesn't seem to do that. All right, so we've been having a pretty busy night, and there's 273 of you here. So that means there should be 2.73 people waiting to get in. I'll leave it at that. Anyways, in the description below the video, I mentioned Discord, and I mentioned my Facebook page. And I am actually on Facebook. And you can friend me on Facebook. It's under Jeff Reynolds. So for those of you who don't know, Reynolds is my last name. Mara is my wife. I don't really see that too many times lately in the podcast, but from time to time people will say, I thought, who's Mara? You know, I thought he's Mara, or I thought that was his last name, but no. Mara is my dear wife, and she is the unseen, very important part of this podcast, who's also She's the chief editor in charge. She's the chief video editor in charge, so all editing goes through her. And that's what we're up to. So you're welcome to, that's a long explanation to find me on Facebook. You're welcome to friend me. Also, there's the JeffMara Indie Eclipse. And I'll get back to that. Tanya's here. See what Tanya's up to. And if you like the new background music and applause, let us know in the chat. Tanya, how are you?
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well, and you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I like your hat.
Oh yeah, because I didn't do my hair. It's a mess, so I just put
that's
on the
cool.
hat so that I can call in.
It looks cool. I like the design on it.
Thanks.
So what's going on this week?
Well, I wanted to call to share with you guys an experience that I had last weekend.
Did you have another what did we call that? Sleep paralysis. Oh, it was OB, not sleep paralysis.
No, I didn't. I did not have one of those yet.
Okay, an OBE that
again.
An OBE may be even better.
Yeah. It doesn't really happen like every week or every month. Like I noticed that sometimes it takes a couple of months before I get another one.
Now, did you have this OBE during sleep or right before sleep, or did you have it like at some other time of the day?
To tell you the truth, it can be at any time. Sometimes I have them in the middle of the day when I lay down to take a nap and meditate. As you say, like I meditate and then I go to take a nap, but then I meditate before I fall asleep, and then that's how I take my naps. Like every time I lay down for naps or to sleep, I meditate before falling asleep. So it could be in the middle of the day, or it could be during the nighttime, early mornings.
How do you meditate?
I have videos that I listen with guided meditations that I like. Like I always go back to those videos, my favorite ones, and they happen to work for me.
That's awesome. What videos? What are the videos? I mean, I'm sure they're on YouTube.
Yeah, I can write it down after I finish talking to you, because I have to look them up, because I don't have them memorized. Like once I save them to my favorites, I just I just go to my favorites and click play all, and they just, they play continuously. So I don't actively go back and search for them once I save them to my favorites.
I'd like to share with you, I'll share with you and the audience.
Yes.
I talk sometimes about the Bob Monroe stuff, about binaural beats. And so I read that report. I don't know if you've heard me talk about it, but I've talked about it several times on the podcast about how the Army and or the CIA invested Bob Monroe, and they wrote up this whole report, which is not easy to read. I probably should read it about 2 or 3 more times. Anyways, there's a thing in there called hemisync, which you're trying to sync one side of your brain to the other side. And they say if you do that, it takes like Tibetan monks 15 years to be able to what they can do with their hemisync tapes quickly. So on YouTube, they have some sample stuff. If you go to Bob Monroe or whatever, Monroe Institute, maybe I would be curious if you'd like to try it.
Yeah.
There's one of them that I did first, which is the introduction to the gateway experience. And what that is they call it resonant tuning. I don't know if you've ever heard that or did that, but you tune up your brain with it, and you're not really meditating. It's kind of like strange stuff that you're humming along, and they're doing these binaural beats. And then there's another one that's just called hemisync, and it's like about a 30-minute syncing. And I've been doing pretty well. Was just trying to, doing this every couple of days to just see if my brain will work better if I just try to keep syncing the left and right side in. And this may be just a complete coincidence. It can maybe something really weird, but I had something out on my balcony that I knew that I should probably bring it inside, because if the wind blows hard enough, it'll knock it over the balcony. May hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And I was walking home quite a bit of a distance from my place, and as I was walking home, I heard something else was on the balcony that had fell over, and it had a specific clink 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 sound. And when I first heard it, because it was in such a it was quite a bit of distance, I said, "What is that sound? I recognize it." And I remembered, oh yeah, that was that thing that I had on there. And I said, I know I've been trying to remind myself I need to take that thing off the balcony before the wind blows it over and it falls off the balcony. So I just felt like it was and when I got home, I went out in the balcony and it was already blowing, like leaning over, maybe, I don't know if it was leaning over the rail, but it already started to fall. So is it a coincidence that's meaningful or not? I don't know, but I just kind of felt like maybe the hemisync helped me, that was maybe the universe reminding me to get that thing off the balcony and bring it in.
Yeah, there's no coincidences. There are synchronicities.
Yeah. So anyways, you mentioned that and I wanted to get that story out. So anyways, let's hear about your dream.
It's amazing.
I know your OBE.
Well, so I meditate, I prayed a lot, right? Like every day, daily, I'm doing one of those two things. So I'm thinking that if you meditate, if you pray, you raise your vibration, because after a while you start getting messages and things start happening that it is just too hard to ignore or to call it coincidences, so one of those nights, or wasn't during the day, I don't even remember, but all I know is that I was falling asleep while meditating, and when I was doing that, I heard a male voice call my name. It said Tanya, and I immediately responded, and I said, yes, I hear you. And then, because I just don't want to be talking to anybody, like any kind of energy, whatever, I asked in the name of the Lord to reveal to me who was it. So I didn't hear anything else. So eventually I fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, I dreamed with my grandfather on my mom's side. So my mom, dad. And when I saw him, I say hello to him, and he smiled at me. And then he gave me a big hug, like a bear hug. And then I didn't put the two and two together until I mentioned it on Discord. And Minnie Raspusel, like she mentioned to me, like, oh, so you got your answer. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. I did ask for the voice to reveal itself to me, like in the name of Jesus. And then right after that, I got that dream, which I have like years, like more than 20 years, that I don't dream with him about him at all. And then I had that dream that was so vivid, and him smiling at me and giving me like a big bear hug. But that one wasn't as impactful as the one that happened last weekend. So to make a long story short, I had a visitor from Panama here for a while, like for about a month or so. I call her my niece, but really she's the daughter of my brother's girlfriend, his girlfriend. His girlfriend daughter came to visit, so I call her my niece, right? So we were here as normal, a normal day, and we went to sleep. When I went to sleep, in one of those occasions, whatever, I was still like in between asleep and awake. I felt like a hand went under my feet, under my feet, like Ross passed through under my feet and touched me. And I even felt the sheets moving. And I woke up immediately. Like opened my eyes, not woke up. I opened my eyes immediately because I was like, what? This thing touched me. And I don't know what it is. So what I did is that I turned on my camera right away because I was like, whatever it is, I'm gonna capture it on the camera because I always do, like every night. So I turn on the camera to record it, and sure enough, it was like 2 or 3 orbs, like leaving the room. So I was like, okay. So the next day when I woke up, I was telling my brother that what had happened, like that I felt the touch and everything. And then my niece got the news that her mother cousin passed away during the night. And then I was like, oh my God, I started making the connection. I'm like, you know what? I felt like something was in my room yesterday, or last night during the night, and touched me. And I still was thinking like there is a connection there, because if you were close to him, because they were really close. I mean, she started screaming and crying out loud in her room when she got the news. And I was doing homework and I had to like run upstairs to her room to ask her like what happened and all of these things, because she was really close to him. And I was thinking, well, if you were close to him, that means that he came to say goodbye to you. But because my vibration is higher and all of these things, like I felt him because of that. And then, so I left it there, right? Because I was like, well, I felt the thing touch me. I recorded something on the video, but I'm not sure, right? So then talking to my brother about like what time did he pass away? It was the exact time when he passed away. I recorded the video. When I turned on the video, it was 1:59 a.m. in the morning. And he passed away at 1:59 in Panama.
Wow.
At the same time. So that now there is no, like, I'm like, that was him. He came over to say goodbye to his niece or second cousin. And because my vibration, meditation and prayers and all that, like I felt him.
Yeah. Well,
and I even record him like I have it, the video.
Maybe next time you can show it to us.
Yeah, sometimes when I have time, I upload them on what is it? Discord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I upload like some, because what happened is that Discord, the videos have to be really short, because if it is if the video is large, then it will not upload. So right. Sometimes I have to like cut them short or like really fast or something so that I can show it.
Mhm.
on Discord, and that's how I share this stuff over there.
Well, that'd be cool. That'd be great to see that. It would be really interesting to have. Now we have the video with the
Yeah,
story.
so it's orbs, you know, they are different colors, they are different sizes, they do different stuff. Sometimes they change forms for me, or like on the video, pues, where well I recorded it, and so it's like really hard to say that it's a bug or something like that, because you can really tell that it's like, no, it's some type of energy or something going on.
What did you think about the video that I posted yesterday when he was on Mount Shasta and it looked like there was about 1,000 orbs in front of him?
Yes, I was so amazed because I had the same thing in my living room. Like, I remember it was like a one of those moons, like special moons going on, and in the living room that night, in my living room, from my camera from the living room, it was kind of like that. It was orbs everywhere, everywhere. I wish I could find the video, but I have like 5,000 videos in my phone. So it's hard for me to find the stuff sometimes, but I have a video that is similar to the picture that he took yesterday. I mean, that he took when he was out there doing his thing. Yeah.
Wow.
So I find it, that guess, I found like a lot of like I don't know, like similarities and things like that with the aliens and the orbs and things. So I actually joined his group yesterday.
Oh, cool. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm sure he'll be happy about that.
Yeah.
Well, Tanya, thanks for coming and sharing with us. I hope that you can come back and show us that picture, that video next week.
Yeah, I will do that. Because I have it on the phone, it will be hard. I have to send it to myself in the email so that I can have it on the computer so I can show it to you right now. But what I'll do is that I'll upload it on the server on what is it called? Discord.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your weekend. I got people waiting on me. I need to get going, but thanks again for coming and sharing with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Next up is Tara. Or do you go by Tara? Depends on the pronunciation. We're about to find out. And let me put ask to start video. Hello.
Hi.
Are you Tara or Tara?
Tara. I was on a few months ago.
Yeah, I thought I recognized you.
Yeah, I'm friends with Typo, Linda. And
yes.
I kept going back and forth about whether I should come on tonight or not, and I finally
great. Well, great. And please give our love to Typo. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, she's been busy. I talked to her a couple days ago, but she's been really busy, so I'm sure she'll be on again soon.
All right, great. Well, what do you have to share with us?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Two guests that you've had on in the past few months that really stood out to me were William Peters, the shared crossing guy or shared death experience.
Okay, I remember the name, and I kind of vaguely, I feel it's hard for me because seeing people every single day.
He has the shared death experience where people, kind of like what the woman Tanya was just talking about, how she experienced somebody die. She had contact with the person right as they were dying. So that was like somebody who I really connected with. And then the one you had on maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, the psychiatrist who specialized in demons.
The one that they call them out to verify if they need a exorcism.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Demons never like really, I've been familiar with the term, but I'm like, no, I really don't want to deal with them. But I do energetic healing and clearings. And I work with Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael and some of the other angels. And a few months ago, I was doing a healing on a friend. The majority of the healing I do is remote. So I do it for groups. So I really don't talk a lot about what the people experience. And usually afterwards, they'll say, oh, I feel lighter. I was doing healing on a friend, and I called in Archangel Michael and Raphael. And I also I always do a prayer or create sacred space. And this time I said it out loud. Sometimes I say it in my head, but this was powerful. So I did the healing, and as I'm doing it, my friend says to me, a demon just left me. And I'm like, nah, no, come on, that's just, energy. It's just energy that's ready to go. He's like, no, it was a demon. It looked like a gargoyle. And like, oh, no, it's just, it's energy. It's energy. So then later on, I'm in bed, he left, went home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cleared a demon. Like, so it was interesting that you had a guest on recently, and I don't know whether this was just what my friend pictured, if it was an actual demon, if it was attached. I mean, this person's had a lot of stuff in his life where it would make sense that there was a demon attached to him or connected to him. So those are just two things I wanted to share that I connected with recently with your videos.
I know I have had at least one other guest that claims to remove entities from people. And I think even dark entities.
Yeah.
So, I think it's possible that you did the same. And what I found fascinating about that podcast with that psychiatrist is here you have a medical doctor, psychiatrist, man of science that is willing to say, these demons are real and people need an exorcism.
Yeah, we definitely need that because they do exist. I mean, I think like he said, there's not a lot of them, but it does happen. And when it happens, we need people that can deal with them, that understand it's not just mental illness or it's something else. So I found that fascinating. And like I said, I'd never really been into the demon thing. I used to go on ghost hunts years ago with a friend, and I did my mediumship, and it was connecting to spirit, to past loved ones. It was very higher up. But there were people there that they were demonologists. There was one that had a demon in a box that he kept in his car, supposedly. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I want nothing to do with it. But I think I was working with the angels, and if it was a demon, Archangel Michael and God and the other angels, took it out. I worked with, so I don't want to say I clear demons, but it was just an interesting experience.
Do you think it's possible that this could be a new path for you?
I don't know. It's funny. I called Linda typo right afterwards, and she's like, you should go on Jeff's podcast. And this was about 3 months ago it happened. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for it. It could be, but I mean, to me, energy is energy. And I guess if I'm clearing energy, I don't need to identify it. Or I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know. I kept it quiet for 3 months because I'm like, I don't want the demons knowing that, I'm going to get rid of them. Not that I totally got rid of them, but maybe it is. It was something that surprised me. And I'm like, later on, I'm like, it was a demon or, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's fascinating. I don't know what I would do if I in your shoes.
I think I didn't admit it. I think it was just okay, it's energy, it's no. And then afterwards, probably a few hours later, I'm like, maybe that's what really happened. Yeah, but it wasn't a bad experience. It wasn't like it came and attacked me or anything like that. But I called in the light. I had my protection. I've been trained in Reiki and to work with the angels and stuff. So it wasn't like I just was doing it without any training or experience.
Amazing. Well, Tara, thanks for coming and sharing that with us.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And if it happens again, definitely get back with it.
I will.
Great follow-up.
Okay.
And
Well, thank you. Nice to talk to you.
If people want to find out more about your clearing, how do they find out about that?
TaraMcGillicuddy.com is my main website, but McGillicuddy's so long. They go to messageswithtara.com, and there's some of my events. I'm actually doing a free group clearing on Tuesday night, so they could talk about that.
Oh, that's awesome. Maybe I think it's great.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, and
All right.
happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
You too.
Bye. All right. She popped right out. And next we have Stephen Cake. I was wondering if he was going to make it, and he has made it. His card? Oh. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have it there if it happens. Stephen.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello there.
I just wanted to thank you for doing this show.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to stop in and say hi.
We have a special card for you now that when this happens, a card, you're the only guest that has a card with your name on it. When your screen freezes, I'm letting you know that your screen is frozen. And it
That's
looks
very
like,
funny, Jeff.
I thought it would be something that you, like I said, you are the only person that we have made a card for. So I'm hoping you would feel special about that. And he's frozen. Up, he's gone. You're back.
Yeah, my internet it's not so great here.
Yeah, we know.
But Jeff, I just wanted to thank you for doing this podcast. And I'll be God's got some other stuff for me to do. I've got, things to work on. But this will be my last time coming on.
What? You've got to be kidding.
But hey, we'll probably our paths will probably cross in the future. So
where
just keep praying.
You know we're going to be here. We'll be here every Saturday night.
And I hope it goes well.
And I feel like you will be back.
I don't plan on it, but I just want to say have a good night, everyone, and bye-bye.
Oh, I guess he's not going to come to the show anymore. I don't know. That's a disappointment. He didn't say why, but I think he said God has other plans for him right now. So, but Stephen, if you're listening, we're going to miss you and we hope you come back. So at that point, yes. And we're at 8:56, so we're almost done for the evening as it is. So let me tell you guys what I have coming up for you. As I was saying earlier in the podcast tonight, I had an amazing recording of an NDE. Well, actually 3 NDEs this man had this morning. And as I'm doing these NDEs, I've never had an NDE. And I'm trying to kind of put it all together in my mind. And if you guys have been here, you know that I've said before that I should be writing this down and I just don't. And it's kind of like a puzzle for me, and I'm kind of filling in the puzzle pieces as I go. And I've got some nice puzzle pieces filled in today, which one of the things was that I've had people talk about the life review. And I've had some people say like they relive the life. And this guest today actually said that's what he calls it. He doesn't call it a life review. It's a life relive. And over there, it's like you go through and you relive your whole life again, but from a viewpoint of your, as I call it, your complete self. He calls it filters, but we're kind of filtered down here, and partly because of just being within space and time. And when you're outside of space and time, and you relive your whole life, then you kind of see the decisions you make and you understand what you did while you're here. So that is one of the things that we talked about that I thought was fascinating. And I think that you guys are going to really enjoy this one. So I hope that you watch it. And again, that will be it for tomorrow night. So let us see what else we've got going on for the week coming ahead. I have a guy that channels angels and aliens, I think, that I'm supposed to record tomorrow. And another one about somebody about her book, which I didn't write. I just wrote in her book. At least I got some notes there. I've got an NDE to record on Tuesday. This is an amazing one that I had forgotten, that I have a guy on Wednesday that had never played the harp before, and I can't remember all the details, but I think he either channeled or somehow downloaded how to play the harp or was taught by angels or something. And I think he's like an accomplished harpist. So I think that'll be real interesting to hear his story. I've got to record an NDE on Thursday. I've got a guy on Friday. Oh, this should be really good. On Friday, I have a man who channels the Zetas. And who was the guest before there that was healed by the Zetas? Anyways, there was a woman that I have on, and she said that she was talking to a guy that was channeling the Zetas, which I believe are a type of aliens. And he said something to her and healed her. And when he said it at the time, she just kind of took it with a grain of salt. But it turned out it truly healed her. She had a miraculous healing. So that one should be really fascinating. And I'm going to record that on Friday. And maybe I'll play that for you on Christmas night or so. That's recording on that. And so on the 23rd, next Friday night's when we're going to do the live stream on that night. We normally do it on Saturday night, like tonight, but since that's Christmas Eve, it didn't make sense, so I'm going to do that then. Then the following week, we have Robert Lindsay Milne, which is a famous psychic that I've had on, gosh, probably around a year ago or so, but he's going to be coming on Monday, and he's going to give us his psychic predictions for 2023. I think that's an NDE on Tuesday, maybe an NDE on Wednesday. I know for sure I've got an NDE on Thursday. Friday, I didn't write that down. Saturday, I've got to record another NDE, which is New Year's Eve. And also on the 30th, we're also going to do that instead of New Year's Eve on a Saturday night. We're going to do that one on a Friday night. And on that day, I hope you guys will come and give your predictions for 2024. We tried it last year, and I've got a few predictions, and I need to kind of review them so we can talk about them and say, this came true or this didn't, right? So we got to work on that. And that's what we got going on that. And I've even almost got the next week book. So it's doing really well as far as we grow, guys. More and more people are reaching out to me wanting to be on the show, which is great because I don't have to find as many guests. And I'm booking out further and further ahead in time. So I think it's great. And let me see if there's anything in particular that I want to mention about coming up in the future. On that week, I've got like 4 NDEs in a row. So, whoa. So on running my time, let's see this. Oh, turned off my sound. Anyways, so on that note, it's 9:02, and I guess we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you so much for watching the videos. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we hope that Steven's okay and he's doing well, and we hope he comes back. Again, thank you all for watching, and thank you guys all for hanging out with us. And have a great week. And be safe. Take care. God bless you all.